Hello, my lovelies. I'm going to be talking about something that's just been on my mind. So, I've been doing a lot of discourse about, how being dark skin and also being light skin, which is some sort of divide between the two, or proclaiming, oh, that person is just pretty because they're light skin, or the person is pretty for a dark skin or a brown skin girl. Um, Based on social media, a lot of experiments, a lot of opinions being put out there. And also, let's not forget reality TV, which I'm a big fan of, although these days getting more and more toxic. So just wanted to touch base on something that I'm putting on my glasses. A little more serious, but no, I just wanted to kind of bring up something that's just been on my mind and give my opinion and my personal experience when it comes to it. So just to put it out there, a disclaimer, this is just my opinion. I don't feel like I have the credentials to even, analyze and go deep. There's a lot of references I can provide where they actually, deep dive into it, or there's a breakdown on when it comes to, this conversation. I don't have any qualifications, not part of any medicine that comes to this. Is just all my personal opinion. And also, while just turning off this channel, I am here to learn. I am so open to any comments, any criticism. Like, educate me, educate me, educate me. Like, I'm so for it. And educate others, because we all have our own different opinions. There's no right or wrong. With every ethnicity, race, every background, wherever you are, everyone has their own opinion, like based on society, even based on your own household. So I really don't believe in the culture where, oh, you're wrong, or everyone should follow what this mentality is, or this theory, or what someone says. I don't believe in that. Like, we can all learn from each other. So let's begin. This may be a touchy subject, but I can't speak on it because, hello, don't mind my manicure. So I'll get that sorted soon once I get someone. I'm still looking for a good salon that I can trust. But yeah, I'm going to talk about it from my African background, and then also moving to the diaspora for a decade. What I've seen the difference between the two areas, and we'll come to a conclusion if we can come to one. So right now, currently being in North America, I am considered dark skin. And when I first came, I was like, okay, I'm not dark skin. I mean, I'd love to be dark skin. Like, I was growing up, I don't know if this is a messed up way of thinking, but I always either wanted to be dark skin or light skin, because brown skin is just in the middle. It's boring. But if you're dark skin or you're light skin, you stand out, right? Obviously, I fared more to the dark skin because I believe they were the underdog, and they were being very overlooked. It was so beautiful to me. Being dark skin is so beautiful. And by dark skin, not this, because I consider this brown skin. Sorry, but dark skin being like, the South. There are so many South Sudanese models that I'm just talking in general. That I think at least one of you have seen a South Sudanese model or an influencer. That's the dark skin I'm talking about. That's what I consider dark skin. They usually have flawless, beautiful skin. Oh my god! And I don't even know if it's just a contrast, but they usually have like a wider, more beautiful smile. So I just always thought that was so beautiful. And growing up, I mean, there used to be so many jokes about it. They weren't seen as attractive as compared to being light skin. And light skin, don't get me wrong, very, very beautiful. And when I say light skin, I mean just the tone, having a lighter tone. Of course, if you dig deep down, they may have, either some, West Asia bloodline down, whether it's from Oman, because in Africa, there's a lot of like Arab background, or they could have European, whether it's Greek, Portuguese, Italian, Dutch, German, or it could be South Asia, so either Indian, Pakistani. So that could all play a part. But as far as they know down their lineage, they're black, but they're just light skin. Same way you can even have a family where siblings, one can be light skin and one can be dark skin. Same parents, same exposure to the sun, but one is light skin. So that's what I understand as light skin, right? So, I mean, don't get me wrong, light skin is also beautiful, but I just saw the sunburns and mosquito bites, like the imperfections they show. So I mean, to each their own, but growing up being light skinned is considered, more beautiful, wealthier, because they just cleaner. And I know this can be offensive to people, but that's just how it was growing up. At least when I grew up, that's what they're considered, like the more light skin. Hence why the whole bleaching cancer, and I literally call it a cancer because all these bleaching lotion soaps, they are because of skin cancer. I've had at least 2 people I know who have had some sort of skin cancer because of bleaching. Unfortunately, to achieve the look that was desirable, people had to bleach their skin. And I know it's big in a lot of communities, like even the Caribbean communities. I also know in the Asian communities, the lighter you are, the more attractive you're considered. We watch a lot of like Korean movies and all that. You see that when you are light skinned, even the makeup and all that, you are considered to be quote unquote more attractive. So I know this is something that affects other communities as well. But when I came here after being considered dark skin based on I bet the standard is based on the proximity to whiteness. So of course, like me compared to a Caucasian from the mountains of Caucasus, they will consider me dark, but I'm not dark. And I'll give the most common example: Lupita. Lupita is beautiful, very very beautiful. However, don't be surprised if you meet African men who will say, yeah, she's pretty, but she's okay. Like, there's nothing really special about, because her pretty is, I don't know how to put this in it's going to be offensive, but in a more polite way, it's considered pretty for like a maid pretty, low class pretty, because classism is a big thing. Classism and tribalism, big where I'm from. And of course, that's like what? Like, Lupita is beautiful. Like, she's beautiful, whether she's dark skin or not, she's beautiful. Because there's that saying, beautiful for a dark skin. I hate that saying. And dark skin. And that's when also it came to futurism. Now, I learned recently that futurism is people considered beautiful, especially if you're brown skin and dark skin, even light skin. Basically, if you're black in, let's say, quote unquote Hollywood, is again proximity to whiteness. If you have the Eurocentric features, small nose, well, I would say small mouth, but now having the sensuous full blown lips is a big thing now. And speaking about features, just going to like go on like sideline to a topic. What kind of baffles me is our African features, whether it's our lips, or our skin tone, because you see people used to go sunbathe, or they tan their skin so they can have like a darker skin tone. And then also when it came to having a curvy body, having a big bum. So growing up, like people had naturally had big lips, big bum thickness. It was all looked down until you have non-black people embrace it. Then the media embraces it. So that's something that's worrying, because Beyonce, I want to talk about Beyonce because again, she's one of the most influential, black woman. She considers herself black, so I want to call her black. Even if she sometimes comes across as being an ambiguous black woman, the acceptable black woman when it came to, again, Hollywood standards. You saw an article probably 15 years ago when she was saying that she wanted her thighs to be skinnier. So I think she probably went on a diet. She worked a lot so that she can have a slender figure. But we know Beyonce, we love her for that. She's curvaceous. So going through potentially, starving herself, trying to change her body type to meet the standards, of the media then. But now that the J-Los, Kim Kardashians, those are the most popular ones I can think of right now, have embraced it, now it's okay. So it's just a sideline funny fact I want to put there. But yeah, back to Lupita as an example. Being dark skinned, some of us who do have the colonized mind will think, oh, she's just, beautiful. Like, you can go to any African village and find hundreds of Lupitas. There's nothing special. And is it because she's dark skinned? Some could argue, no, it's not because she's dark skinned. I believe that you have a lot of, and most times it's brown skin or dark skin, because of what we grew up watching in the media. Even if now we believe we're woke, there is still that mentality that for you to be beautiful and for you to be considered a baddie, is you still have to have, close to white proximity features, and that's featurism, even if you're dark skinned, no matter what your tone is. So there's a lot that we can talk about with colorism and featurism, but like I said, I don't have the medicines for it, I don't have the credentials for it, so we're not going to dive deep. There are a lot of people who can break down with facts and help you understand more. Today, I just want to talk about what is considered dark skin and what's considered light skin. Now, growing up, I will consider myself brown skin. Like, if I went back, to my home country and said I'm dark skin, I would basically be abused. Like, really, I'll be abused. Like, what the hell? And there's nothing wrong with even being dark skin. When I came here, I'm like, I'm dark skin, cool, whatever. That's your opinion. I wanted to be dark skin growing up all my life, but I know for a fact I'm not. And the reason why like I said, I'm considered dark skin is because of the proximity to white. Because again, I grew up, primarily black people, so we knew what the difference is. And I realized the standard is different. Respectfully, because now if I go to certain parts of Asia, I could be considered, big, a bigger girl because I am above size 4. Which, again, no shade. That's their standard. Hey, I'm a big girl there. Cool. Wear your big girl clothes, right? Wear your big girl food. I'm a foodie. I even love it more. But of course, like growing up where I grew up, we are thick girls. I grew up taking milk. Yes, that milk. So my bones are thick, full of calcium. So that's even the quote unquote the girls who are under size 4, right? They will still be, they'll be curvaceous. They'll have hips, so that it is what it is. So it was just funny that when I come here, I'll be considered dark skin. Most people call me dark skin. We're not black. So they'll be like, oh, I love your skin. It's so dark. And I'm like, who, where? Me? I know I'm not light skin, but I'm not dark. I wish I was, but I'm not. So, it, to me, honestly, it doesn't matter. Again, I grew up African. I grew up where my color did not matter. Of course, there's colorism, but like I say, tribalism and classism is bigger. And when it comes to, what skin tone I am, right? Unless I wanted to like maybe be an actor or join the media or maybe be campaign for, a pageant or something. It doesn't really matter, right? Because at least, growing up, if you're beautiful, you're beautiful. Then I realized, okay, what's considered beautiful? Yes, there is futurism. Yes, it's colorism. That I can understand, and that's why I'm speaking on it. So when I used to be called dark skin, I was like, okay, that's strange. Like, I'm not dark skin. I said correct, but like, I'm not dark skin. They're like, oh no, but I didn't even have something like, yes, yeah, but you're black. I'm like, no, I'm not black. The colors. They say black isn't even a color, but if I'm not black, am I, this black? I'm not black. So, I felt like it was my opportunity to educate because a lot of people are not arrogant, they're just ignorant. So I said, you know what? I'm African. Like, I'm as black as they come. So I think this I can comment on. So whatever you grew up here in North America believing is dark skin, let me educate you. There's the difference, because if I'm dark skin, then what do you consider, someone who I believe is dark skin? Are they dark? Are they dark blue skin? Like, what's it? So it's kind of hypocritical because they have their standards for their beauty, and unfortunately their standards of beauty have been imposed on us. So now you're also imposing what skin tone I am, which I found unfair. And again, I said, doesn't matter to me, right? I am who I am. I'm proud. I love my skin. A lot of black girls because of dark skin, but they're not dark skin. And they're probably like 4th generation, or they're proper American. Although we all came from somewhere. Again, that's another whole subject. And they consider dark skin. I'm like, you're not dark skin. After all, you're not dark skin. You're brown skin. You're same shade as me, if not even a little bit lighter. And then I had to educate them. This is what dark skin is. And I'm like, who told you are dark skin? I'm like, well, growing up, everyone told me I was dark skin. Again, like I said, most of them were non-black people telling them what shade they are. Whether it's their teachers, whether it's their makeup artists, whether it's their hairdressers, whether it's a lady in the store, whether it's a checkout girl. And if you go to Sephora right now, there'll be a lot of people being like, oh, for your dark skin. And I was like, well, I'm more, brown skin, chocolate, again, makeup is different because it depends on your undertones, but I have orange undertones, so they end up getting me the wrong shade. Like, every time I go to Sephora, they bring me makeup. The shade that they always think it is, if I go to a non-black attendant, it's always the wrong shade. Oh, that's dark. Even during summer when I'm usually darker. Oh, it must be this one. And then again, it's probably my orange undertones, but yeah. So what I'd say is, yeah, let's start following our own standard of beauty, and let's also be able to describe who we think we are. If you are a black person and you think you are brown skin, if you see someone be like, yes, I'm that shade, that's okay, as long as it's you, or at least a black person saying what shade you are. Just don't be a shade. Don't consider yourself a shade just based on what most likely a non-black person has said that you are. And also, I see a lot of girls who are brown skin and they consider dark skin. A lot that probably even would be, at least in certain types of in different African nations, considered even light skin, call themselves dark. So even they skip the whole brown, because again, I'm just generalizing. There's obviously different shades. I know there's caramel, there's mocha, but they skip all the way to dark skin. Like, I look at this, I'm like, if you're even going by makeup, if you went, would you be the darkest shade? No. Shout out to Fenty. Shout out to the inclusion. I believe Fenty, and there are a couple of others, but that won't even be your shade. So maybe you can even use the makeup. if you go to black-owned makeup companies, or at least those who have black scientists working on it, then that should be proof enough to consider that no, you're not dark skin. And there's no problem, because we all want to write. I am for, again, dark skin, because I believe they're the underdogs. Like, all shades are beautiful, but I believe dark skin, especially women, and when it gets to men, they're really overshadowed and overlooked. And even those are blatantly beautiful, there's always but but this, but that, but this. I mean, you basically have to be close to perfection, right? Meaning that you have to have perfect skin. Your eyes have to be, you can't have a forehead like mine. Like, everything has to be perfect, and then your body has to be perfect for you to be considered beautiful. Yet when it comes to other races, right? Especially, I'm just basing off Hollywood, what they would consider beautiful don't even meet the same standards. Even compared to even a light skin, she won't meet the standards. She won't have a body yaddy, right? She won't have perfect teeth, and which, again, that's not how the world should be. And that's why you see all of these young children bleaching themselves, changing their pigmentation, starting to alter their bodies. Which, again, like I said, if it's your choice, that is okay. If that's what you want to do, that's okay. But do it because of what society is defining. What if you are in, again, the media business? Your agent is like, yeah, you have to fix this about yourself, because if Beyonce, as talented as she is, right, growing up, they're probably working in many rooms, and they're like, yeah, you need to lose weight. We like to believe we have come far, but we are still on the way. We are still on the way. Now, when it comes to men, it's a little bit different. And I'm going to call my African brothers, you know what's up. So, I mean, growing up, being dark skinned, hey, still beautiful. But then when it comes to the desirability, it's noticed with men as opposed to women. Black men, whether it's, beautiful skin, the bias of them being well endowed, also that they're most likely going to be athletic. I mean, they're beautiful, and the whole world sees. Even coming here as well to North America, same thing. I was around a lot of my African brothers, and I never saw any of them. They don't have to be perfectly handsome to be attractive to, I mean, I will always stand by, we black women love our black men until they play us. Until a black man plays you, we love them. They're our first choice. But are we their first choice? A whole other topic. Don't mind me. When it comes to Africans, I know when it comes to Africans, I can speak to where I'm from. I won't say specifically. I like people to guess where I'm from, drop in the comments. But I know that black men love us. I grew up never feeling like, oh, they never loved me. But then when I came to North America, I realized like, oh, okay, this is what's happening. Another video for another day. So again, it didn't affect, being dark skinned doesn't affect. Of course, there's also the light skin mentality. I'm not going to speak on it because I don't know a lot about it. But the Drakes of the world, them not seen as like real men. They say the light skin privilege. I mean, I don't really understand. Maybe we can have a conversation about it, but it's going to follow up whether is it just the fact that they're light skin, because again, light skin growing up for me was a tone, or the fact that they're multiracial or biracial. So I'm like, again, I want to be school me, but is being multiracial and light skin the same thing? Are they considered the same thing? Is there a difference? And if so, what's the difference? So I'll tell you what I understood. Maybe wrong, but this is what I understand. Light skin, you can be light skin in every race, by the way. And dark skin in every race. I'm just going to talk about, black, being African, actually, because I know it's different in different communities. Again, you can be light skin, maybe down your lineage somewhere there was a mixture, but you meet same parents, but one sibling is light skin and is not. That's just a tone, right? When it comes to being biracial or multiracial, you have two races or multiple. And in most cases, you may even have two ethnicities or multiple ethnicities. So to me, it's different, right? So also as to how we saw it was different. Maybe if you walk down, because they're also, biracial, multiracial children that you look and they won't even be able to tell. They could still be, brown. They could still be dark skin. For example, let's say if you're half Cuban and half, Cameroon, the different ethnicities, right? In some cases, it could also be different races if you're not Afro-Cuban, but you're still considered brown skin, dark skin. You could also be, let's say, half Indian, half Pakistani, different ethnicities, half Pakistani, half, South Sudan. You could still be dark skin, brown skin, but those are different, races, you could even say, different races, yeah, and different ethnicities. So there's a lot of different factors. So to me, I didn't see them as similar. But now when someone says I'm light skinned, a lot of the light skins, they point out a lot of them happen to be biracial or multiracial. And there'll even be others who are just light skin and they are like, I'm fully black. I'm not light skin, I'm brown skin. Or you're clearly light skin, but because they always ask, which parent is white? Which of your parents is your mom or dad? Because that's another thing. Maybe I'll make another video, but for the biracial whereby one parent is black and one parent is white, even if one parent is black and one parent is Asian, and they mix with black, it's to see how black you're considered, because in the world right now, even if you have a quarter black, you can be considered black. Well, let me not say in the world, but in the diaspora, you're considered black. But in Africa, they'll be like, who's your dad? Your dad is black. Your dad is African. You're African. Wait, you belong to us. But if your dad is European, Asian, that's who you are. That's when that's what we believe from where I grew up. It may be different now, but growing up, that's how it is. It was very important who your dad and who your mom is, because we take our dad's side. But what's interesting is, and I'll just throw that out, if you do have mixed race friends, or you're dating or whatever, whoever their mom is, if they're mixed race and they have, let's say, black half Asian, and the mom is the Asian, usually they tend to be different from those who, they're also mixed race, Blasian, half black, half Asian, and then the mom is black. That's why they say mother tongue. That's why they say mother nature. It's different. Also, when they're mixed with white, who is the black parent? Is it the mom, or it's the dad? You're a Trevor Noah or you're a Drake, okay? Very, 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 very important. There are obviously exceptions, like Alicia Keys. I believe her mom is black. So the mom was probably, well versed in the culture. And maybe she embraced it fully. Therefore, you can see, like Alicia Keys, to me, it will come across like it to be her mom that was, especially because her mom was, I think she didn't really know her dad. Her mom was like her primary caregiver, the parent that I think she was a single parent. But if you see like the Drakes, the Chris Browns, just a thought. This section is called random thoughts. So I'm just throwing out, this is literally how my mind is. Like, this is what goes through my mind. I just throw things. And as politically incorrect it may seem, this is just me being open and honest, a safe space for everyone, just what I'm thinking. So I will really, really be happy to receive any criticism, any thoughts, any schooling, please. I'm literally begging for it. Please. So, okay, I'm sorry, I'm going to go all over the place. But yeah, as I said, for men, it doesn't really affect them as much in terms of being dark skin. But again, the dark skin versus light skin, I've seen that debate. The Drake versus Kendrick Lamar. Is Kendrick Lamar dark skin? So, as I said, I was considered dark skin when I came to North America. And I embraced it because I was going to be dark skinned. So I'm like, yeah, I'm dark skinned. Yeah, cool. But I'm really not. If you're going to base on how I grew up and if you're based on actual skin tones, you're going to be factual. I'm not. But if that's what you want to identify yourself as, even if clearly you're not, good to you. I mean, no one tells you who you are but you, right? I mean, you can be wrong, and you can be wrong and proud as long as you're not affecting anyone else and it's not affecting your mentality. I mean, you see it a lot. Like, let's say you're going for a sport, you're going to run track, and you not the best. You're going to run against probably the number one who's getting the gold medal every time. But you're like, I'm going to beat them. I'm better than them. That's okay. Positive reinforcement. Say whatever you have to say to yourself. That's okay. But the silly divide whereby, oh, I'm claiming this person, they're light skin. Oh, I'm claiming they're dark skin, so I'm going to fight for them. It's really, I mean, all in all, we're black. So I don't really see the big deal, but some of the claims is crazy. It's really, really crazy. Yeah, so again, let me know. Drop down in the comments. What am I? Am I dark skin or brown skin? Don't say I'm dark skin. Okay. As long as you're non-black, it's okay. Anyway, thank you. Thank you, my lovelies. And let me know what else, if anyone has any random thoughts they want to talk about. Again, like, this is not a place where I would judge people, whatever thoughts, even if they're silly. I know with the cancel culture or people calling out on the trolls, a lot of times people are not comfortable, feel safe to speak their mind. That's probably one of the main things I would like to do in this channel, is just have conversations, because different societies, like I just explained to you how I'm perceiving one society versus another society, right? Everyone has different opinions. And again, not saying that one is more correct than over the other, although like I'm black, I should be able to speak on what my standard is in terms of what my skin tone is, but there could be other black people, let's say from Europe or from the Caribbean or from, the Afro-Latina or even different parts, because Africa again is a continent. So I just say Africa in general. But even where I'm growing up, I'm not speaking for all Africans. We all have different sentiments when it comes to this. But I like to believe that there is a similarity, and I would like us to regain the power of setting the beauty standard or how we define ourselves. So that's it. That's what I want to talk about today.